Hey, how's it going? It's Doc David with Head Shrink Inc. And today someone sends me an email asking a question about whether or not they should send a card to an in-law. Listen in.
You are listening to Head Shrink Inc., your answers to life, relationships, and daily living.
Hey, it's Doc David with Head Shrink Inc. And so if you're new to this podcast, what I do on here is I answer questions people send me. Lots of people send me questions or ask me my advice on things. I've been in practice, for 16 years, helping people and helping relationships kind of get right with the world and with one another. And so I enjoy answering questions and giving my opinion on things. So here it is. So the question I got today was from a woman named Liz. And Liz says, do I need to send my brother's wife a birthday card anymore? If she only sends cards through her children to me. Over the last year, I received Mother's Day cards from my niece and nephew in her handwriting. Nothing from her or my brother. Then when I graduated from college in July with a master's degree, I did not receive any card or anything congratulating me. No phone call, nothing. I never said a word. I have not had a phone conversation with my brother's wife, 10 years of marriage, in about 2 or 3 years. She never calls, nothing. We do not have a relationship. We do not share anything. Well, I would sidebar. I think you share your brother, actually, relationally speaking. But from the past, once I forgot her birthday and my brother called me out on it. So my question is, since my graduation was completely ignored, which was special to me, and any cards are from my niece and nephew in her handwriting, do I need to send a birthday card? And if I don't, and my brother tells me I did not send a card, can I say I didn't want to send a card and also remind them I didn't get a card for my master's degree? Complicated, it sounds. Sounds like drama, but I'm really indifferent to it and don't mind the lack of cards I get. But what I dread most is the double standard and the anticipation of my brother and her complaining about me not sending her a birthday card because the birthday is coming up and I don't feel the desire to send a card. Dum, dum, dum. I know I could save face and keep the peace by just sending a card, but I'm older now and I'm so sick of doing these things out of obligation. How can I be true to myself? All right, Liz. So I think you need to determine one thing at least. You need to determine what kind of connection you want with this sister-in-law of yours, because I think that and we're not just talking about the sister-in-law, because this connection you have to determine. I mean, do you want connections with your nephews or your nieces? Do you want connection with your brother? And basically what you've been told is this is something that's kind of a requirement to keep this relationship whole. Now, I have no idea if you're a single person, but I'm making an assumption that you're kind of a single person. And so what goes along with that for people that are married and have kids is potentially an assumption that you have a lot of time on your hand, or that you're selfish and, wow, you can't even take the time out to send a card. I have no idea if that's going on, but I'm just kind of getting a sense that maybe there's some of that issue going on, because getting a master's degree takes time. And I'm just kind of wondering about that. But I agree with you. I don't like obligation as well, but sometimes obligation is necessary to keep or maintain certain relationships. Now, we're not, and I say we like I'm involved in this, but you need to determine, again, like I said before, are you willing to stay obligated to keep relationship doors open with your brother or with the nieces and nephews? Because I think those are potentially important relationships that you may want to invest in, especially the nieces and the nephews. You may want to invest in those relationships as they get older and as you get secure in whatever kind of career you do. Family relationships are valuable. And so you maybe need to consider the obligation of sending a card just to keep those pathways open to the niece and the nephew. But if you decide, you know what, I'm not going to be obligated to anybody, these relationships are not something I want to invest in, then I don't think you need to send a card. If your brother calls you, then you can just say, hey, I don't want this obligation. It's not written in your wife's handwriting. I mean, you can be honest with them, but you have to recognize that in that honesty, there's going to be the potential for a break off of the relationship, which is kind of a sad thing. So again, you have to determine, is writing a card that takes, I don't know, 2 minutes or less sufficient? And you could even, do you have to send a card? Could you send an email? Or is that not seen as something that's, not a good thing? And so you need to actually go out and buy a Hallmark card and address it and send it. That is a rare thing in our society. But what I'm going to encourage you to do is to seriously consider the ramifications of not sending the card. Now, to them, it may be a big deal. To you, it's not a big deal. But again, we go back to, I kind of keep circling back to this idea that it depends on how important these relationships are to you. Apparently that's important to them. And I don't know if your mom and dad are still living, but I'm sure that they want you to have peace with your brother. And this is one way to keep peace. And yes, again, it's an obligation. When I first was married, I had obligations that I had to do with my family that I didn't really enjoy. And then I went into a phase where I was able to kind of be more self-secure and say, no, I'm not going to do these obligations. It's interesting. I've come back full circle where I'm willing to do these obligations because I care about people. I mean, it's not that I didn't care about people before. I think it was my own kind of maturation process where, I was a younger guy. I wanted to do my own thing. I didn't want to be obligated to people. And, I got married, had kids, and then kind of slowly went back to this, I want to keep relationships whole and healthy. And so I know there's give and take in relationships. And so I was willing to give some stuff that I wouldn't have given if there was no relationship there to invest in. And so I think what I would suggest, Liz, is that there probably is some investment that could go into these relationships. And you say it sounds like drama and you're indifferent, but I actually don't think you're indifferent. I think it does get at you a little bit. And so my encouragement to you is just to actually look at it for what it really is. Like, do you want to stay connected to your brother? Because it sounds like your brother wants to stay connected to you. And the bigger picture here is that there's a lot of other people that are involved besides just your brother and his wife. Well, hopefully that's been helpful to you. If you have a question, feel free to email me at headshrinkinc@gmail.com or go to my Facebook page, Doc David, and like it and ask me a question there. Have a great day.